Today we did get another opal on a Tuesday, which is a W. However, it is a greatest era set, which are never really the best, man. The odds seem to not be the absolute worst, but still we need to go over the new Snipe filters, man, so let's get right to it. The first filter we're going to go over is the pink diamond filter. For this, you want to put your color to pink diamond. You want to scroll down to your minimum buyout and put your minimum buyout to 500 and just keep refreshing. As of right now, every single pink diamond on here is a snipe. Monitor the new ones that just dropped, but these packs are so rare, not a lot of people rip them. I do not see them becoming a buyout or ending for lower than 130, 150 at the lowest. So monitor the pricing to be sure, but every single card on this filter should be a snipe, so just go ahead and refresh here. If anything pops up, buy it as soon as possible. The next filter we're going to go over is the greatest era's cheapest filter, man. For this, you want to just set your theme to greatest era. You want to scroll your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest card on your console, which on Xbox right now is going for about 67,000, 57. I mean, like, low-key I could grab that and maybe sell for profit, but these cards, you really need a big difference in pricing to guarantee that you make profit and that the card sells, man. So really, I would look to grab this card for like 50k and below and then post it up for like 59, something like that, to make profit, because this one just got posted. This one's been up for a little bit. I mean, like, it's there, you could make it. I might consider to do it later, but either way, you want to scroll with the cheapest one. As you see, my maximum buyout on Xbox is 71,700, because if I go to 71,750, I get a third card on the scroll. So I recommend you just have a working scroll. This is, you know, one card to the 4-hour mark and then one after, which isn't bad. So that way you have the highest chance to see any of the more expensive diamonds or pink diamonds on this filter, or opals. Obviously, man, you can see every greatest era card in the game on this filter if they pop up, man. Just kind of check the pricing before you work it, so you know which ones to grab for what price, man. But huge W filter. You've got an opal, you've got several pink diamonds, several diamonds that are still snipes for up to 100k, man. So spend some time on this filter. Hopefully you get lucky and see something crazy. The next filter we're going to go over is the greatest era high-end filter. For this, you still want to keep your theme at greatest era. You want to raise your minimum buyout up if you're on Xbox to 90,050 is what I personally would work. You'd either raise your minimum bid up and put a minimum buyout at 500, or if you're able to, raising your minimum buyout up high enough until you're on a workable scroll. On this, you could obviously put your min buyout up to 100,000 and have much less of a scroll, but for me personally, I would work 90,050 and just deal with the 5 scroll, just for a higher chance of seeing more cards for different prices, man. This one's not bad at all, but personally I would use 90,050 right now on Xbox. On this filter, again, you can see the opal, the pink diamonds, and the several different diamonds that are snipes, like Willis Reed, Jack Sikma. Any of those cards pop up, man, buy them as quick as possible. Michael Cooper is not one of them, sadly. You want to go ahead and just buy anything that is a snipe, so make sure you know the pricing. If I can speak, guys, man, grab them if they pop up and then resell them for a bid. The next filter we're going over is the Amethyst cheapest filter, man. For this, you want to set your color to Amethyst. You want to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Amethyst on your console, which more than likely will be this Brevin Knight on Xbox and PlayStation, going for about 5,000 MT. Well, in this case, since there's 4 of them, you do normally want to scroll on this filter if it's working for you and it's only a 1 or 2 scroll at max. So that way you have the most chance to see any of the more expensive amethysts, like Paul Gasol, Lou Dort, any of those more expensive amethysts, any of the amethyst gems of the game cards. Since there's a 4 scroll, I would just put my max buyout 50 MT cheaper and go ahead and refresh like this. I believe, check the pricing on this, guys, I haven't looked, but the series 1 amethysts are all snipes at 5k. I think they're like 6, 7k a pop. They might just take a little bit longer to sell. So I would suggest you scroll on the cheapest one like this. If a series 1 pops up, if a gems of the game pops up, anything that's more expensive amethyst pops up. Otherwise, you want to grab these Brevin Knights for about 3,800 and below and then resell them for profit. The next filter we're going to go over is the diamond cheapest filter. For this, just like the amethyst, man, you want to set your color to diamond. You're going to raise your maximum buyout up to find the cheapest cards, which should be Raymond Felton, man. He's been the cheapest for a while now. You want to go ahead and scroll on this card as well, so you have the highest chance to see any of the more expensive pink diamonds. Sorry if I could speak. Obviously, any of the new ones that dropped today, the cheapest is like 74,000 right now. So if any of those pop up, buy them as quick as possible. Resell them for profit. Monitor the price on them. If people start ripping a ton of those packs, their prices will drop heavily. But a lot of people, at least on Xbox, do not rip those packs. I know on PlayStation, this is different, guys. So if you're on PlayStation, check the pricing of those cards, because I think they're down to like the same price as Diamond cheapest for some of them. So be very careful of that. You want to go ahead and scroll on the cheapest one. If any of these Raymond Feltons or anybody who's just cheapest diamond pricing pops up for about, I would grab them for 28,000 and below, maybe even 25,000 and below, and resell for profit. If you want to go all the way up to 30, you can, but it's a risk, man, because these prices could drop and change, and you might lose MT after the pending process, man. So really good filter, high potential to get a crazy snipe and make a lot of MT. So give this a try if you're trying to get up to like 100,000 MT. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Jack Sikma hard scope filter. He just dropped today, man. He is a diamond. He is expensive, man. Going for 2 something. He's pretty rare, but he is a diamond, and people will maybe throw him up in error, thinking he's just, you know, cheap, 50k, 60k, just like every other diamond type pricing, and you'll be able to snag him for very cheap and make a lot of profit on this filter. To work this filter, you want to just put your name to Jack Sikma, and you're going to put your minimum buyout to 500 and just keep refreshing, man. If he pops up for any price at all, buy him as quick as possible, because like I said, he is selling for a very high bid. So just go ahead and throw him up for 100k bid once he pens, and go ahead and stack that MT. The next filter we're going to go over is the Gems of the Game cheapest filter, man. For this, you just want to set your theme to Gems of the Game. You want to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest gems of the game, which on Xbox are going for about 2.1 thousand, man. 2k really is what you're going to want to sell yours for. So what I suggest is scroll, because there are, you know, Amethyst gems of the game, Ruby gems of the game, Sapphire gems of the game that can pop up and are all snipes at this price point, which is another filter you can do. You can go ahead and throw color Sapphire on here if you want, and then just snipe those specifically, but usually I have more luck just working gems of the game. You want to grab any of these golds and emeralds that pop up for about 1200 MT at the most, and then resell them for like 1,950, and just go ahead and get them sold as quick as possible so you can keep buying some more cards, man. It's a really good budget filter. It's much better on PlayStation if that's the console you're on, but it is good on both consoles. The next filter we're going to go over is a bit of a confusing one, but it's actually a really good filter. I've been using it a lot lately and having some success on it. This is the maxed bid filter, man. I'm going to show you how to set it up as if for each console, man, but you can kind of mess with these numbers to get some better functionality out of, which I'll say. But right now for this filter, you want to go no color, no theme, no nothing. You just want to put your maximum bid at 500 and your minimum buyout, raise it up to 100,000 and refresh. This is just like the enabled all filter without having to buy any cards. So you can see every single card in the game on this filter. Please make sure you know your pricing to work this filter, because you might see somebody that pops up for 40k and you can't see that he's already down to like 25k, because all the cards that are up for 25 have a higher starting bid price, man. So be cautious on that. As I said, you can lower your minimum buyout down to be able to see more cards if your console and your scroll will allow you. See, as I already went all the way down to 69,000. You want to lower this as low as possible and higher this as much as possible, and still have a working scroll for your console, so that we have the best chance to see more snipes for different pricing, man. That AK, I don't know if he went back up in price. I doubt it, so we're just gonna leave it alone. But this is a great filter to work if you can't afford to buy enabled and enable all filter and all that. You can work this for free and still have a chance to snipe diamonds, pink diamonds, and galaxy opals on the same filter. The next filter we're going to go over is the Eastern Conference high-end filter, man. For this, you just want to set your conference to Eastern. You're going to raise your minimum bid up to 100,000 and put your minimum buyout to 500. Go ahead and refresh here. It is a long scroll. It's going to get better by the time this video drops, more than likely. These cards are about to drop off in 22 minutes and then 37. You could also buy this card and enable him, but It is a 7 scroll, it looks like right now, to the 4-hour mark, which is kind of what I would suggest at this point, is to just scroll to the 4-hour mark, since most snipes pop there anyways. I personally scroll all the way to the end just to be sure, but if you want to just get through this, the refreshes quicker, you can do that, because 90% of snipes pop up at the 4-hour mark, and it would pop up right there where that Tyrese Maxey is, and you can go ahead and snipe them. And on this filter, tons of options. You have both opals on here, lots of great pink diamonds, as well as a few diamonds, a couple. I know Paulo is on here at least, who is definitely a snipe. I'm not sure who else, but really good filter, again, if you do not want to enable and you're trying to snipe high-end cards, man. So spend some time on this filter as well. And the last filter we're going to go over is the Galaxy Opal filter, man. For this, you want to go ahead and set your color to Galaxy Opal, put your minimum buyout to 500, and just keep refreshing and hoping that something pops up, man. If it does, buy it as quick as possible. We have 2 Galaxy Opals in the game now. They're both absolutely insane snipes, man. So go ahead and refresh here. If something pops up, buy it, man. It's going to be very, very dry, so I don't suggest, if you're just trying to make MT, this is not the filter I suggest you be on. If you're trying to get a hype snipe, go ahead and work this one, and hopefully something pops up for you. That's it for the video, man. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, smash that like button for me, I would appreciate it. If you guys want to see the video we made where we sniped 5 pink diamonds, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.